Hey guys, it's Parkour Crafter. I just wanted to show you guys this really cool thing I added. I added custom crafting to my server. Basically, you can put in items like this. This is just an example recipe. And, you can get out an item like this, like a grave skull. Yeah. So, if I die, let's see, yeah, if I die, nope, I did not keep it. But I think if I drop it, and now if I die, and I come over here, pick it up, do /grave, and if I right click it, yeah, I get teleported to it, yeah. Teleported to it, and then I can pick it up. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that. I'm going to show you how to add custom crafting, but there's a few technical challenges I had, and I'll go over that in the next slide. So basically, when you're trying to create a custom crafting system, like, you'll come across a couple challenges. One that I faced was, what if I wanted to craft an item like this, like the grave scroll, but it needed a custom item in it? How do you order which items get, like, the recipe gets created first? And what I did for that was basically I had it so that, like this, we'd register them all in a list. We'd register all the items first, and then we would register their crafting recipes in another list. So we'd register the items first and then register the crafting recipes. And like another problem you come across when you're doing stuff like this is, how do you prevent duplication? And a way that I found out to like prevent duplication is, whenever you craft an item, we're going to give it an ID. We're going to give it the grid item ID. On like the one hand, we're going to give it an item ID for the grid, or like not the grid, but to just label what item it is so that we can know that it's custom. Then we also give it an ID when it was created, so that if we ever find two items that are created that have the same ID, then we know that they were duplicated. And we also have traded, so like if we give someone an item and they traded for it, we can tell that they traded for it. Or if it is a skin of another item, we give it the variant tag. And basically, just these tags are what helps us and allows us to easily track what's the life of this item, what has happened since it's been created. I was gonna elaborate a little bit more on what I meant when so like let's take the grave scroll for chance. I was gonna elaborate a little bit more on that. So the grave scroll is like this, I guess. It's like a scroll kind of thing, but its ID would be, say, 0. It has an ID of 0 because because we just want it to be. It would have an ID of 0. We go in order. And let's go back to Minecraft here. We could give, say, scrambled eggs or Orb of the Oculus. Give the Orb of the Oculus like that. We can give it an ID of, say, 1. Let's go back to the paint. Orb of the Oculus would have an ID of like 1, or say let's make it green. Say it has an ID of 1, or it just can't be the same. And then now that we have an ID system that we can map them all out to, we can say that whenever you put these items up here in this specific order, then put out the item with the ID of this. And to further that, we can say that, that item right there requires item ID 0 to craft item ID 1. And since we register them first, we register it first. And then secondly, we register the recipes. We don't have an issue of not having them available. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about how we did a skinning system on our server. Basically, in the server, you have an item, you can put it into this thing called a lexicon, and basically it's this book, and you put an item in, and I'll show you the different skins of it. Like I have a golden one, there's a blue one, and they all do the same function. They're all exactly the same, but they have different skins, and you can pick different styles from that. Like I can put this in there as well, and it'll show us the different kinds. We did that by from that same ID system I talked about a second ago, we did that through the same ID system. Basically, any item has the IDs, but then we also register a list of skins, and that's why we had the variant tag a minute ago. It also has a list of skins. It has like so these 4 would all be 1, 2, 3, and 4. They'd all be the same skin. It'd all be the same item. They all have the same ID of, say, 0 or 1, like we did earlier. And so we did 1 earlier. So these all register as 1. 1, 1, 1. They all register the same as 1. And basically, anytime we right-click on the mouse, we right-click on the mouse, and basically they all map to the same item. They all execute the same function, but they just look different. And that's how we did the skinning system. I'm going to show the code for that really quick. So basically, anytime we want to add another skin, it's as easy as adding 1 line of code. I'll show you here. Basically, this is what we're looking at. And basically, anytime we want to add any kind of skin to the game, we just do add, and then we create this custom skull. And that's all we have to do. It's extremely easy, and I even have a comment here with the one not filled in, and it's so easy to add just different skins because of the way the infrastructure that we set up our system with. Basically that sums everything up for how our crafting system works. I'll show you, like, one last example here is, like, we can make scrambled eggs, but thank you guys for watching. If you're interested in, like, checking out more development logs, just, like, let me know. You can join our Discord server. I'm going to have it down in the description. And I plan to see you guys there. Thanks.